Level 1. Trash Tier. The Star Wars Holiday Special, Santa Claus Conquers the Martians, and Christmas with the Campbells. Let's start with the Star Wars Holiday Special, 1978. Imagine your favorite galaxy far, far away turned into a musical variety show. Chewbacca's family grunts through 10 minutes of untranslated Wookiee dialogue, while Jefferson's starship performs a space disco ballad. Even George Lucas disowned it, reportedly saying he'd destroy every copy if he could. It's so bad, it's practically an artifact, proof that the Force does not protect against bad television. Then there's Santa Claus Conquers the Martians, 1964, where Martians kidnap Santa because their children are sad. The result? Cheap costumes, rubber sets, and dialogue so flat it's almost performance art. It's the kind of film that makes you question who Christmas is really for, humans or aliens. Finally, Christmas with the Campbells, 2022, tries to parody Hallmark movies, but accidentally becomes one. Raunchy jokes meet lifetime-level acting in a snowstorm of secondhand embarrassment. Trash-tier Christmas movies remind us that sometimes the greatest gift of all is turning them off. Level 2. Bad Tier. Deck the Halls. Jingle All the Way 2 and 4 Christmases. Now we climb to the bad tier, where Christmas movies at least look expensive, but the spirit still feels fake. These are the glossy disasters, packed with stars, loaded with budget, and completely devoid of soul. They try to sell us holiday magic through sheer chaos, like a mall Santa running on caffeine and regret. Let's begin with Deck the Halls, 2006. Danny DeVito and Matthew Broderick wage suburban war over who can create the brightest Christmas display. It's loud, forced, and somehow manages to turn good actors into Grinches. The humor lands like a fruitcake, heavy, sticky, and better left untouched. What was meant to be a cheerful rivalry turns into a shrill noise complaint wrapped in tinsel. Then Jingle All the Way 2, 2014, a sequel nobody asked for. Larry the Cable Guy replaces Arnold Schwarzenegger, and the result is pure stocking stuffer cinema, cheap, predictable, and powered entirely by product placement. It's as if someone filmed a toy commercial and forgot to add a story. And then there's 4 Christmases, 2008, starring Vince Vaughn and Reese Witherspoon as a couple forced to visit 4 dysfunctional families in one day. It's an idea ripe with potential, but every joke lands flat. By the end, you're exhausted, not from laughter but from emotional whiplash. Bad-tier Christmas movies sparkle on the outside but melt faster than snow under a heat lamp, proof that festive chaos can't hide a hollow heart. Level 3. Mid-tier. The Princess Switch, The Christmas Chronicles, and The Holiday Calendar. The mid-tier is where things start to feel cozy. Predictable, yes, but comforting in that guilty pleasure way. These are the movies you half-watch while wrapping gifts or sipping cocoa. They're filled with snowflakes, meet-cutes, and small-town charm so artificial it should come with a made-for-Netflix label. They're not great, but they get Christmas, and sometimes that's enough. Let's start with The Princess Switch, 2018, where Vanessa Hudgens plays not one but 2 characters who swap lives. A Chicago baker and a European duchess who look identical. It's a concept lifted straight from a 90s Disney Channel movie, yet somehow it works. There's something oddly satisfying about the earnestness of it all. No cynicism, just sugar-coated escapism. Then we have The Christmas Chronicles, 2018, where Kurt Russell delivers one of the most unexpectedly delightful Santas in years. A rock star Santa who sings Elvis, drives a muscle sleigh, and has more charisma than the entire North Pole combined. It's chaotic, sure, but full of heart and energy. Finally, The Holiday Calendar 2018, your classic magical advent calendar changes her life plot. Kat Graham stars as a photographer whose daily gifts predict her romantic future. It's sweet, predictable, and exactly what you expect it to be. Mid-tier Christmas movies are like store-bought cookies. You know they're not homemade, but they still hit the spot when the lights are low and the snow starts to fall. Level 4. OK tier. Elf, The Santa Claus, and How the Grinch Stole Christmas. The OK tier is where holiday movies start to find real staying power. Not masterpieces, but endlessly rewatchable comfort films. They're the ones you quote every December without realizing it, packed with memorable characters, timeless humor, and that warm, slightly chaotic Christmas glow. Elf, The Santa Claus, and How the Grinch Stole Christmas have flaws, sure, but they've also become the unofficial background music of the holidays. Let's start with Elf, 2003, the movie that turned Will Ferrell into a Christmas legend. As Buddy the Elf, he's pure innocence in a cynical world, syrup on spaghetti, joy in human form. What could have been a one-joke film became a classic about childlike wonder surviving adulthood. It's funny, quotable, and secretly profound. Then there's The Santa Claus, 1994, where Tim Allen accidentally kills Santa and inherits the job. It's absurd, slightly dark, and yet it works perfectly. The idea that anyone can become Santa through belief, accident, or destiny hits just the right emotional note. Finally, How the Grinch Stole Christmas 2000, Jim Carrey's full-body metamorphosis into the ultimate holiday grouch. Critics were divided, but audiences adored it. Beneath the chaos and candy-colored chaos lies a surprisingly touching story about loneliness, redemption, and belonging. These movies might not be flawless, but they are unforgettable. They remind us that the spirit of Christmas doesn't need perfection, just heart, humor, and a little magic dusted in snow. Level 5. Good tier. Love Actually, The Polar Express, and A Christmas Carol. Now we've reached the good tier, where Christmas movies start tugging at something deeper. They're emotional, cinematic, and packed with meaning. These films capture the magic, melancholy, and chaos of the holidays in a way that feels both personal and timeless. Love Actually, The Polar Express, and A Christmas Carol aren't just Christmas movies, they're reflections of how the season makes us feel: hopeful, lonely, grateful, and human. Let's start with Love Actually 2003, the interwoven tapestry of love, heartbreak, and awkward caroling that became a holiday staple. It's messy, overstuffed, and a little sentimental, but that's exactly why it works. From Hugh Grant dancing through 10 Downing Street to Emma Thompson quietly breaking down by the Christmas tree, it reminds us that Christmas isn't just about joy, it's about forgiveness and connection. Then there's The Polar Express 2004, Robert Zemeckis' motion capture experiment that divided critics but enchanted audiences. Its uncanny visuals have aged oddly, yet the story, about believing in magic long after the world tells you not to, endures. Tom Hanks voicing nearly every character only adds to its dreamlike charm. Finally, A Christmas Carol, in any version really, but especially Zemeckis' 2009 adaptation, remains the ultimate redemption story. Dickens' timeless message about compassion over greed never loses power. Good-tier Christmas films remind us that amid the lights and noise, what truly matters is believing in magic, in love, and in each other. Level 6. Great tier. The Nightmare Before Christmas, Home Alone, and Klaus. The great tier is where Christmas movies become art, the kind that redefines what the holiday feels like on screen. These films don't just tell stories, they create worlds. Each one carries its own heartbeat, balancing joy and melancholy, laughter and loss. The Nightmare Before Christmas, Home Alone, and Klaus show us that Christmas isn't just about presents under a tree, it's about finding meaning in chaos. Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas, 1993, is both Halloween and Christmas wrapped into one gothic gift box. Jack Skellington's attempt to steal Christmas becomes a haunting meditation on identity and purpose. With Danny Elfman's haunting songs and stop-motion perfection, it's a story about rediscovering joy through failure and the strange beauty in not fitting in. Then there's Home Alone, 1990, the crown jewel of Christmas comedy. Macaulay Culkin's Kevin McAllister turned childhood independence into legend. It's slapstick, sure, but behind every paint can and booby trap is a heartfelt story about loneliness, family, and forgiveness. It's a film that makes even burglars feel like part of the holiday spirit. And Klaus 2019, Netflix's modern masterpiece. A reimagined Santa origin story with breathtaking animation and emotional depth. Its message is simple yet profound. A true act of goodwill always sparks another. It's one of those rare films that instantly feels timeless, fresh, and classic all at once. These movies don't just capture Christmas, they elevate it. They remind us that even in the darkest winter, kindness can light the way home. Level 7. Goat tier. It's a Wonderful Life, A Christmas Story, and The Muppet Christmas Carol. Welcome to the Goat tier, where Christmas movies stop being entertainment and become rituals. These are the films that outlive their eras, their creators, and sometimes even the meaning of Christmas itself. They're more than stories, they're traditions. Every December, millions return to It's a Wonderful Life, A Christmas Story, and The Muppet Christmas Carol. Not out of habit, but because these movies feel like home. Frank Capra's It's a Wonderful Life 1946 remains the emotional cornerstone of the genre. George Bailey's despair, his wish to have never been born, and the angel who shows him his worth, it's cinema's purest expression of hope. What makes it timeless isn't nostalgia, but truth, that every small kindness changes the world in ways we'll never see. Then there's A Christmas Story 1983, a film that somehow turns childhood chaos into comfort. Ralphie's quest for his Red Ryder BB gun, the pink bunny pajamas, the leg lamp, it's awkward, funny, and real. It's not about miracles or magic, it's about how ordinary memories become sacred. And The Muppet Christmas Carol 1992, the perfect fusion of whimsy and wisdom. Michael Caine plays Scrooge completely straight amid singing puppets, and somehow it works. It's heartfelt, hilarious, and beautifully faithful to Dickens' message: generosity redeems the human spirit. Goat-tier Christmas films don't just capture the holiday, they define it. They remind us that love, forgiveness, and joy aren't seasonal. They're eternal. Every Christmas movie, good, bad, or unforgettable, tries to remind us of one thing, that even in the darkest winter, joy finds a way back. The bad ones fake it, the great ones feel it. And that's why year after year we return, not for the snow or the lights, but for the reminder that love, laughter, and second chances never go out of season.